Eastbourne Speakers Club. We are in for a huge treat tonight. We have our president herself giving a fabulous speech. My name is Carpenter. I'll be evaluating our speaker in a few minutes, but for now, please welcome to the stage our fabulous president, Fern.
Good evening, Toastmasters, Toastmaster, and most welcome guests. Tonight, I am going to take you on the journey of a lifetime. My lifetime, to be precise. I have always been passionate about communication. While most people's words are mama or dada when they first start to speak, mine was gaddin, looking out my family's window. I'm not sure why I was so obsessed with the garden, but maybe it was a signal even then that when it came to communication, I would always go the extra mile. When I was growing up, this seemed to be proven true, as I would often listen to late-night radio talk shows instead of listening to my parents reading me bedtime stories. And throughout my life, I spent my days using egg whisks and big spoons to interview my family members. I'm sure they very much appreciated that. Pretty soon, pretend turned into reality, and I started presenting radio shows on hospital radio and student stations. Here at university, once again, I went the extra mile, or perhaps I should say, the extra few thousand miles. My university experience took me to North Carolina, as I studied at Western Carolina University and got my degree in, you've guessed it, communication. I always had a huge passion for radio. It was my dream career. It was the one thing that whenever somebody asks you that age-old question, what do you want to be? I wanted to be a radio presenter. However, over the years, I came to realize that ironically, radio can sometimes limit what you want to say. It can take something away from your personality. And indeed, if you think about some of the commercial stations that you might listen to on a daily basis, in between all of the music and the ad breaks, the presenter only really has time to introduce the name of the next song or wish their listener a happy birthday. Those of you who know me will know that I have a lot more personality about me than that. I have a lot more to say than that. Contrast that with public speaking. In public speaking, you can talk about whatever you like. You can speak about your interests and your hobbies. You can change people's perceptions and opinions. You can change people's lives. It truly is a wonderful thing. And so, 2 years ago, I started Googling those two words, public speaking. And guess what came up? Like a shining beacon, Toastmasters. Here I read that I would learn in a supportive and friendly environment, develop my speaking skills, and most importantly, have fun. So it was that a few weeks later, I was standing here in this very hotel, attending my first ever Toastmasters meeting. All the things they had said were true. I did meet a supportive, friendly group of people. I did learn about public speaking and what it means to be a public speaker. And most importantly, I did have fun. You might think that was the moment that changed my life. But actually, that came a couple of weeks later, when I signed up to be a member of Toastmasters and I was set to perform my first icebreaker speech. This made me terrified. All of a sudden, I realised how different radio and public speaking can be. I couldn't hide away in a studio and sit there not knowing what anyone else would think of how I looked or how I moved or my projection of my voice because I had a microphone. In public speaking, an audience is watching your every move. They're criticising your body language, the way you speak, the way you move, and the words that you say. They're right in front of you. I was so scared that I was just going to forget my lines and have to abort my first speech halfway through. But luckily for me, Toastmasters gave me the confidence to keep going. I performed my icebreaker speech, "Can I climb this rock wall in high heels?" And I did get to the end. And I did get a round of applause. Not only that, but I got an amazing evaluation, which filled my spirits with high confidence, which was invaluable for me to grow and to progress as a public speaker. That was the moment that I realized that public speaking was for me. And not only that, but Toastmasters was the place where I would achieve my goal of being a public speaker. I kept coming back. I kept attending. Through Toastmasters, I was able to speak at a variety of events in front of all kinds of different audiences, compete in various competitions, and most recently, I have become the president of Eastbourne Speakers, an amazing, fantastic club, which I could not be more proud to call myself the president of. In short, I believe that I am living, breathing proof that Toastmasters is a place where hope is born, where friendships are found, and where leaders are made. Thank you very much.
What did I think of Fern's speech? I thought it summed up perfectly exactly what Toastmasters is all about. And I think that type of speech is just what we need to encourage people to come and try and to observe and to be part of Toastmasters. Excellent speech, first class.
Yeah, Fern's speech is very authentic. She speaks with from her heart. I really enjoyed every time she gives a speech.
I think Fern's speech was fantastic. Fern's a great speaker. I love the way she tells a story, and just it was informative, it was educative, and I really could have listened to her all night. Fabulous job.
Fern is such a great speaker. She never lets you down. I thoroughly enjoy her speech. I can't say how excited I was to listen to it. And I took so many good points about her speech with me, which I'm going to really go away and think about it and put it into practice myself and get hopefully better at my speeches.
I really enjoyed Fern's speech. She's so passionate and she just is so down to earth in her speaking. It's always a pleasure listening to Fern. She's fantastic, always an inspiration.
Well, what a speech. Superb.
I know I did the evaluation, but I'd just like to say again, Fern's speech was fantastic. She is an absolute star and she's a pleasure to listen to.
What did I think of Fern's speech? Well, I thought it was fantastic. It was inspirational and it was uplifting.
Our next evaluator to evaluate Fern's speech, Miss Claire Carpenter.
fellow Toastmasters, I have evaluated Fern before, and it's always a challenge because she brings so much to the stage, doesn't she? And she did again tonight. She brought confidence, she brought a well-structured speech, she brought an interesting story, and tonight she even brought a dog. What's not to love? Well done, Fern. So it was a smashing speech. One of the things that's so noticeable about Fern's speech are they are beautifully prepared and crafted. We heard, didn't we, that she was within her time slot almost to the second, as she always is. And that's because she's prepared in advance exactly what she was going to say. The result of that is that for us as an audience, it's so easy to follow. It means we don't wander off. It means there are no superfluous words as she repeats herself. And she did that absolutely brilliantly tonight, so well done. Fern is a wordsmith. We know that from other speeches she's delivered, and there was perhaps not quite as many in her speech tonight as she has regaled us with in the past, but still those gems were there. So did you notice, for example, how she finished the speech? A beautiful little triad. Toastmasters, it's where hope is born, friendship is found, and leaders are made. The rhythm of that last statement makes it poetic and powerful. So a really good closing, well done. I have a couple of recommendations for Fern. My first is to do with the voice. A mentor of mine once told me that sameness is the enemy of the speaker. So that's sameness in terms of pace, in terms of volume. And I would say there's room in Fern's speech for a little more variety. In particular, the places where I think we really could have had a bit more was when she was talking about her dream job. She was in her dream job. She wanted to be a radio star, radio presenter, and she got it. And I would love to have seen Fern just let go a little bit and let some of that passion out. And what would happen there is she would naturally become louder and faster. And that's fine because it really, the energy and the love that Fern has for that job will really come across. We heard it a little bit later when she was talking about her first icebreaker, and she said, I was terrified. So I know that Fern can do it, and I'd just like to see a little bit more of that. My second recommendation for Fern, and this goes for every single speaker, for every single speech that they will ever deliver, and that is, please remember your audience. Your audience are always asking, so what? What does that mean for me? Now, I said earlier that Fern had a great structure. It was a journey structure, but that journey was Fern's journey alone from beginning to end. I think it needs one more step, and that is, this is my journey. This is how I've been enlightened by that journey, and now what does this mean for you? Now, you don't even need to ask you don't even need to tell your audience what it means to them. But you at least need to ask the audience to think about what it means to them, and it will be a much stronger speech because you'll have more connection there for the audience. But overall, it was really beautifully structured, really well delivered, Fern. I would just love to see you let go a little bit with your voice, let that passion out, but overall, brilliant. Again, well done.
I've definitely calmed down now. I was quite nervous before the speech. I'm just really glad that it went well, and I'm just so thrilled with the audience's response. I really, really do enjoy speaking, and I just got so much out of that, and I know this is why I'm trying to be a public speaker.
And Nancy, what did you think of your mistress's speech?
Well, I thought it was rather wonderful, and I can't wait for her to speak again. It was terrific. Well done.